kick back, relax, and get into the zone. But not that zone. I'm talking about the bar where we have the drinks. At least I have mine. And it's a bar, and we're gonna be here for the next 59 minutes talking music, sports, politics, and everything in between.
Yep. Welcome to the bar again. It is. Wait, look at me out. Today's Wednesday, not Thursday, right? Why do I keep thinking today's Thursday?
No, well, you're in a hurry. Probably have something you want to do on Friday or Saturday. So, you can't come fast enough.
I can't remember. Today
Shebi is
at the
you.
moment.
Shebi is you.
I can't remember. There's nothing about Shabi is me. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the boombar right here on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Olad Dalupon. The one and only. The one with the orange hair.
She thinks it's orange.
No, it's orange. It's orange at the moment.
She was going on about red. If you've been following this
at the moment, it's orange.
Well,
it's orange.
Good luck to you.
Yeah. Anyway, today's going to be very interesting as we're going to be talking about a few things. Yeah. There's something that has been busting the internet. There was news broke a few days. I think the conversation started a few days ago about the UK migration laws and the immigration laws and how they're tweaking it and all that. Yeah, and somebody decided to shatter a table. Was it early this morning? And then there's been so many reactions. We're definitely going to talk about that. He's been trending number one for a couple of hours now. Okay, there's also conversation about Seun Kuti. There's a major update about him. We're going to be getting to that also. We know that Nigeria's inauguration is in a couple of days. It's definitely, like, when they say couple of days, like literally it's in a couple of days. So we're going to be talking about that, how the president-elect and the vice president-elect supposed to get the handover notes tomorrow. There are a lot of things that we're going to be talking about around that. President Buhari officially did his valedictory Federal Executive Council meeting today. So that we'll talk about. And a few other things. And since COVID, I think it's probably the first time all ministers are going to be like seated at the same place. And although, a lot of state governments are dismantling or whatever it is, whatever English they call their executive councils. Anyway, we'll talk about that as
and so much more.
And there's a lot of sports. There's a lot of updates on that as well. So let's get right into it. Sit back, relax, get your drinks, get your water, get whatever it is you want to get, and enjoy the show with us. So starting from the most interesting headline that has been happening for the past few hours. There's a very interesting fellow by the name Emdee Tiamiyu who granted an interview with the BBC. Okay, so let me give a little bit of background. So if I am correct, this was about 24 hours ago. The UK government officially announced there were a bit of readjustment, more like restrictions to the migration laws, talking about how the issue of student visas and people bringing in dependents through student visas, how you cannot switch from student visa to work visa. They looks like there's going to be a big stricter with bringing foreigners into the country. And is it well within their rights? It is their country. It's whatever they want to do. That I feel that they have the what's the word now?
They have the right to do it. They have the
right.
audacity. They have the power.
It is theirs.
Yeah,
it is
their thing.
It's their country. Yeah. Now, of course, a lot of people have been talking about it. When we know for a fact that Nigeria is also a country that gets a lot of. In fact, we see a lot of. If you're on social media, from Instagram to Twitter to YouTube, there's videos of people. People even take it as like their job to try to educate people how to move, how to get student visas, how to do. Personally, I feel that is a lot. Like, people should just drop it. It's getting too much. But a particular guy with the name Emdee Tiamiyu decided to have a sit down with the BBC and shatter a few tables. Basically, come out to say that a lot of Nigerians.
They didn't say a lot. It was a blanket statement.
That Nigerians come to the UK really not because of this education or qualification, that they just use it as an opportunity to move. Yeah,
that's what that guy said. Before we really delve into this guy, Tolupo made mention of people who feel the need, the itch, the urge to come online and teach you how to get things done. We're in the era of content creation.
Yeah.
And, as a broadcaster, journalist, been doing this for a couple of days, you see people jump on trends and start to publish and broadcast. And you understand why it's okay, because that's the era that we're in.
Yeah.
And the sad part is when they do not have the basic requirements, they don't have the training, they don't have the background, and they don't want to learn, they're always going to make mistakes. But to them, it's content. Mm-hmm. I saw content one day. I shared the video with Dolukbo. A lady goes to meet 3 young women at the swimming pool, and she's asking them all sorts of...
Oh, yeah.
And at the end of the day, nothing came out of it.
It made no sense. At least there should be,
that's
a
content.
Point to...
What's the essence of this interview? Nothing. And that's what you're saying now. So, it's a sad trend when you see people who get a chance to leave Nigeria. They call it jackpot. It's not a new trend. I've said it over and over and over again. When the Talk Room Pod was discussing something like this, Chiwome and his guys, I kept on harping on the fact that
it's not a new thing.
When I was way younger, it was called Ja. I think young people put Pa there. But Ja for us was finding out too, like, this person don't Ja, that one don't Ja. It's not a new thing. And before we even got to the Ja point, the people before us had been doing it.
Had been doing it as well.
Sure, you get. So immigration is always going to happen. People will migrate.
I think it's a part of...
It's a global trend.
It's a global trend.
It makes the world go round, actually. That's why, there was a research that was carried out a couple of years ago, and you find out that people have DNA spread all over.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Sure, you get.
I get what you're saying.
Before I lose track of my thoughts, so it's not a new thing. But Nigerians have played it up in recent times. But now with the advent of social media, everything is published. Oh, I'm going to the toilet. See, this is how I go to the toilet. Oh, I tried to fry eggs and it got burnt. It's content. The sad part is that some people like it and it's working. And if it's working for you, please go ahead and do it. But you see, you have not spent 2 days in the UK. You have not spent 2 weeks. You're already telling people how difficult the UK is, or who asked you for this? If you really want to create content, can you do a little bit more research and bring some sensible things, or funny, or entertaining? But I can tell you, there are like a million. There's a proliferation of YouTube content creators who will tell you how the UK is, and they've not even been there for months, not to talk of years. And that is the case
are you talking about content?
This so-called
I think I remember
Emdee Tiamiyu.
Tiamiyu per se. And it's very interesting for me. First things first, talking about content creation, like I said, I think some of these things, I saw a tweet that somebody put out today where someone said that, the amount of Indians that actually migrate every single year.
They're more than Nigerians.
They're way more.
The Pakistanis in the UK, they're more than Nigerians.
You don't see them.
They don't
make so much noise about it. All these are all in the name of content creation. You don't think that their own government, the UK government, sees all these things. That's one. Two, I'm still talking about content creation. If I remember correctly, there's a particular guy. I can't remember his name though. I'm not sure I ever paid attention to his name. But once or twice, I have seen his videos of his experiences in the UK. I think there was one that I saw that when he went to church, there was one
very
his,
funny guy.
Colleague,
They gave him
eating his food.
They gave him trainers and gifts and
that
money.
always eating his food at work, or his friend that invited him to his house and his child is eating his food. If you really sit down and watch those videos, there are a few hints that the guy drops about living, how culture shock and all those things, how it's different from where he's coming from. But to me, it's very interesting content. Yeah, it is comedy, but at the same time,
informative.
But it's a bit of information here and
educative.
there. Exactly. Not that you're coming, like you literally open your YouTube. How to come to what's it called in 30 days. You opened Instagram. How to travel without having kitty called £1,000. What's it called? I'm like, can we just catch a break? We get it. You are in the UK. Good for you. Can we just move on from it? That's number one. Number two, the fact that you think that you have moved, you do not. I feel that some people, there's a level of inferiority complex that makes people think that because they traveled or they've traveled at some point in their lives makes them superior to other people.
Yeah, like you're in heaven now.
I know a lot of people
that
have traveled far and wide but do not plan to live somewhere else. No matter how bad you want to pick Nigeria. Like, I know a large chunk of people that would not want to. There's nothing you want to do about, or what the thing you want to see about it, yeah? So, I'm wondering, like, why is it that we're so quick to paint our own country so bad? Is Nigeria is it heaven or is it as wonderful? No, but you know the sad part? Every single person, every single country has their own issues. Every single one of them have got their own issues. Is it a bad thing to migrate? No. But the fact that you feel that there's really nothing good about your own country, excuse you. And then, even if that's how much you feel, because I watched a part of his interview, and even if that's how he honestly feels, I feel that it is lack of common sense and lack of emotional intelligence to be able to say those kind of things in front of a camera.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Yeah. It's possible that's exactly how he feels, because even with his so-called apologies and all that,
you know,
that it's obvious that's how he feels.
I'm happy that you're holding back small. You're not really letting out what you want to say. I know you. I even know me too. Even you know me, I don't like talking. But yeah, I really think Mr. Emdee Tiamiyu, if you ever get to watch this video, or I get to tell you about it, I think that you only displayed your level of ignorance.
Yes, I think
your
so.
lack of exposure and your willingness to throw everything away just for you to get eyeballs. The instant your dumb interview hit the airwaves and people were sharing it out of anger or support or whatever, because there are people who support you. I've seen one or two of them.
Oh yeah.
Even the devil has supporters, so it's all right. You actually were feeling like a G. You said, oh, now they are sharing your content. What content are you creating? For a guy that just left Nigeria 9 months ago from Osun State, in the village of Osun, I'm not saying all of Osun's village. You're a bushman from the village. And, you know,
I think that
you found your way through the same path.
Lack of exposure.
Tolukbo, this guy traveled through the same path that he has condemned.
So is he saying that whatever he's saying also applies to him?
To him. But no, he was talking like, you know those Nigerians.
Do you understand?
Like,
that's what it means.
He didn't know it was sweet for your mouth.
Like, the minute I saw that video, I'm like, this guy is not even big. You know, it's very interesting how I remember I saw another video. Still same yesterday, where there was an proper interview with another Nigerian.
Dr. Emeka Okorocha. Please, say his name. God bless you.
And I saw it was basically it was they were basically asked the same questions because of course this was a major conversation, and it was interesting how why Nigeria is really on it is because according to statistics in the past like year or 2 years, Nigerians have about 40% of people that have migrated with their dependents. Yeah, so it makes sense that there's a lot of conversation around Nigeria. And if you have not seen that video, you need to look for that video. You can just type in Dr. Emeka Okorocha. And like he had said, by the time I juxtaposed those two videos, what that just told me was that somebody is lacking in exposure. There is a level of education that somebody lacks. I'm sorry. Like I would say, even if that's exactly how you feel, which the honest truth is everybody is actually entitled to their opinion, it still does not mean that we should say, because of the advent of social media and all that, it's not everything you think in your head that you say out. That's part of what emotional intelligence is. I get it that at this point, there are a lot of people that seem to be threatening him and saying that if he comes back to Nigeria, if he this, if he that, it probably is his own way of trying to get asylum and all that.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what? I like what you said there. That's smart. That's smart. Yeah, because the guy is sly enough.
Yeah.
To do it.
To do those kind of things.
So guess what? There's a Twitter user, Dr. Peng. I won't finish it. Yeah. Who has been publishing the guy's picture and details about him and just leaving some innuendos about how Nigerians should not let it slide, about how the guy should be dealt with, and how he should be deported.
I think that is unnecessary.
But a few months ago, they were on the same divide, and this is me just bringing it out the way I say it. You find that they got carried away with politics to the point where they could bully people and do all sorts of things online. And that is what Emdee Tiamiyu has done. He's one of those online people. I'm not mentioning a group.
You know them.
Yeah.
I know them.
And that is what has played out. Now, the same people, his own people, are now turning on him. Do you understand? They are now turning on him. There is a mob action. On this particular reason, I don't fault them. He has shown that he doesn't care. He was gloating. Now he made a video apologizing. He said he's a good guy, he has a good heart and everything.
I have one question though.
Yes, please.
I've seen him with the BBC interview and his apology.
Yeah.
And he seemed to have had an Instagram
live
with Daddy Freeze or something.
Yeah.
This is just an aside. Doesn't he have another top?
Apparently he doesn't. Maybe he left his bag in Osun State. The guy's been wearing the same thing,
Same thing.
Some
like,
funny looking hoodie with some funny looking t-shirt thing that he's crafted by himself. But bottom line for me still remains how any Nigerian, there's a lady I saw on the Instagram, that took him up live on Instagram and said to him, do you think this is okay for you to reveal to the people who you were talking to? And when you look at that and you look at the interview that Nigel Farage conducted with Dr. Emeka Okorocha, amazing human being, Emeka Okorocha, you juxtapose it and say these are two young men. Emeka Okorocha should be the one who has grown up in the UK, seeing the large influx of Nigerians and say, no, let's block them.
This guy has literally lived. He's British, let's not deceive ourselves.
He said positive things. And he's the one that just came barely 8-9 months ago from Osun.
And why?
From the bushes of Osun.
I think that as much as there's government, there's government that, I think that a lot of parents are really, what's the word? They're lacking.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
there's
Parenting
a lot,
is the issue.
I think that there's a lot that parents need to do.
You need to impart a lot on your
Impact
kids, though.
A lot on their kids. Yeah. I totally agree with that, because also if you see a doctor, if you watch the interview of Dr. Emeka, you can also see that there is a very strong, as
He's so proud of
British
his
as he is.
Nigerian
Yes,
roots.
You can literally hear him. You will know that he's actually proud of who he is as a Nigerian, and you really don't get those things other than being from home, especially for someone that has lived most of his life
In the UK.
outside Nigeria. And that's where I'm coming from, that you don't even have to like Nigeria or like what's happening at the moment, but we need to get to a point to understand what patriotism is. We cannot continue like this. You do not see Indians talk about, you don't see Americans, you don't see Mexicans. Like, I have literally, you don't see Afghans talk about their countries the way Nigerians talk down their country.
A friend of mine, Wale, told me a story about how at an airport in the US, someone was carrying a US flag, and he had it strung around his shoulders and his neck, and the flag fell. And before the flag hit the floor, a little girl ran up to him and grabbed the flag. You get, in time to hand it back to the person who was carrying the US flag. And he said that was a moment where he realized how much that girl loved the flag. They'd been taught a lot about the US flag and how important it was.
It was, yeah.
Do
Those are things that schools, parents, we need to go back to.
It's important. It's important.
It's ridiculous.
So you see that, and that has to do with the training and orientation that they have about how important the US flag is.
Yeah.
But what do you know about your Nigerian flag, and what kind of heritage do you attach to it? What kind of importance do you attach to it? The patriotism that you're talking about, really has to be put on the front burner now. We need to start talking to people, start teaching them really and truly how important it is to love and respect your country. At a point where you will project Nigeria positively and the world starts to see it. I've seen schools in America carry out projects where they made their students, study in Nigeria and project Nigeria, and someone came up with a wristband and it became a big deal and all of that. But you see, the Nigerians themselves, the people who are Nigerians, a lot of us, I'm not one of them, I know you're not, but a lot of us are so fond of putting our country down.
Yeah.
Look, there are issues in every country in the world. I am not condoning anything that our leaders have done in the past. I'm just saying that regardless, you need to respect yourself, your country, and your countrymen.
It's even more, like you said, respecting yourself. Like, try and even just respect yourself. Give yourself a little, because you're not even respecting yourself, because that's what you're showing, that your country does not even deserve the respect.
So you don't care.
You don't respect yourself.
You don't respect yourself.
Anyway,
you don't respect your country.
We'll see how all this drama is going to unfold. He has been, to me, they claim that there's an apology. I watched a bit of it. It didn't sound like an apology to me.
If there's a stamp somewhere on behalf of a lot of Nigerians, I'm saying apology not accepted. Apology really not accepted, because he doesn't understand what he has done. He doesn't understand, and by the time it dawns on him, it might be too late. But again, Dolupo had made a point. People don't care. People like Emdee Tiamiyu, yes, you look like someone who would throw an entire nation under the bus just for you to get some kind of, permanent stay or residency. And that's who you are. A big shout out once again to Dr. Emeka Okorocha. God bless you. You are an amazing Nigerian. Regardless of the fact that you were actually raised in the UK, you are more Nigerian than MD of Osun State.
Anyway, let's move on from that quickly as we go on to an update on Seun Kuti now. So Seun Kuti is an Afrobeat singer, and I think about a week ago, a few days ago, he had an altercation with a policeman. Unfortunately for him, that video, somebody somewhere in traffic made a video and put that video out. I'm guessing that if that video did not exist, even though there's conversation about how the policeman had officially reported him and all that, I'm not sure that it will go this far, because that video is some major evidence against him. Anyway, since that time, he has now, I think yesterday, he's now officially been released on bail. We know that I think May 20th, he was supposed to begin his European tour. Unfortunately, he was in jail. And looking at the charge sheet, I saw it yesterday. All I can say is that do not get on the wrong side of the police.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. I know that they're not perfect and all that, but as much, like the Bible says, as much as it lies within you, live peaceably with the police.
Yeah, it's actually there in the Bible.
You know, it says live peaceably with all men. My own version, live peaceably with the police.
It's in the Bible.
Or the government. You know, when people say, after God, now government. Oh, yeah. I'm sure at this point, Seun Kuti understands that point.
That charge sheet, I have not checked the official release from the police, but some credible people have put it out. And every time I look at it, I'm like, man, okay. At this point, Seun really, really needs, it really needs a strong legal system or support system. There are things like firearms involved.
Yeah, there are things like firearms. There's attempted murder. And I'm like, okay, let's be coming down. Like, is it this deep? But the honest truth is that even if the judge throws out some of these things, I think the way the police had crafted this thing, some of these charges are going to stick.
Yeah.
And it's not good for him. It's not good for his brand. And especially for someone that, I think that I've never really paid attention to Seun Kuti until this past elections. And if you watch a lot of his videos, he had a lot of things to say about every single candidate, yeah? And he came off pretty intelligent.
Seun is intelligent. There's no question about that.
And
it's
for
just
someone like that, you now wonder, like, okay, what was happening at that point?
Nah,
I don't know. We don't even know. You know, the funny thing is that a lot of people, or maybe just between him and the policeman or the policemen involved at that point, probably know exactly what happened. Yeah? But the sad part is that there is a video of you assaulting the uniformed man.
Yeah.
That, I think, just nails the coffin. I think that just nailed the coffin. Like this. So now I'm like, what was he thinking? See, maybe people don't even know. It is a crime to hit somebody else. Like what people call fighting on the road, and then we just all look away. If one person goes, people get arrested and people go to jail for slapping people. Just slap.
Yeah.
So I think people need to get that fact.
You're not supposed to lay your hands on anybody.
On anybody.
Now this is the so-called or alleged charge sheet. Let me do a quick run. Assaulting a police officer, you mentioned that. Obstruction of police duties. Driving without a driver's license.
Oh wow. Are you serious?
Yes. And at times we take these things lightly, but I always try not to fall on the wrong side of these things.
Okay, that he should get a fine for that. I don't think that he should go to jail for that.
Seun Kuti driving without a driver's license, driving with an expired vehicle paper,
Okay.
dangerous driving,
Okay.
acts capable of breaching public peace, assault occasioning harm, attempted murder of a law
my God.
enforcement agent. Now they're saying that the guy is in coma,
But we
We're
all
waiting.
saw the guy.
Threats to the life of a police officer,
Inspector General.
possession
How is
of
this
substances. You can't even call Inspector General if you go by some stories that we have been hearing. Possession of substances suspected to be marijuana and other hard drugs.
Okay.
Illegal distribution of substances suspected to be marijuana. Illegal possession of firearms. Now, you see, possession is another thing, but distribution makes it
That's why who is
harder.
it distribute? Oh God.
So I think the police have it in for Seun.
Yeah, I think
I
that
think
he
they
allowed
do.
it. I honestly think
And
he could
sadly,
have avoided
Seun served into their hands. There's a way these things happen
it. You're
where
a public figure to now worsen it. Somebody
well-
which we don't even know where the video even emanated from. Unfortunately,
was some person driving.
somebody took
Yeah.
a video of you hitting
One
a
of
police
the,
officer.
one of the points about the man being in coma can quickly be discarded because
We all saw the video now.
there's the angle of the guy driving all the way to
We
a
all
police
saw the
station.
video.
The person that you say is in
Like-
coma drove all the way
That's why
to
I
a
said,
police station
IG, sir.
and all of that.
IG,
So
sir. Let's be calming down. Like, I'm not saying that he's innocent, yeah, but attempted murder. Like, let's be calming down. Now, the issue of driving, the police can come out and say that if they can actually prove some of these things, they'll tell you that he was driving under the influence of some of these things. There's also the conversation of, did he have a valid license? Did he, all those things? His car could be impounded. That's why I say some of those vehicle and what's it called? Yes, he might get to pay a fine, but the story of an assault on a police officer, yeah, even like you said, even the attempted murder thing can actually like be thrown out. But there is a video, and except they want to say that Seun Kuti is a twin, he's the one in that video where he was seen. He first hit the man, then we saw him actually slap the man. Then there is a video that he now made saying that it's not his first time he's slapping policemen.
yeah,
And I'm like,
Seun had to go ahead and make that kind of video.
who advised you?
I don't know, honestly, Baba. What happened now?
Like, who advised you? I'm sorry, yeah. And I feel that, I was talking to my cousin a few days ago, and they're like, that they were going to release him, there were days, or that. And I'm like, you don't get it.
In all of this, I want to shout out my favorite Nigerian artist of all time, Seun Kuti. Seun Kuti went on tour a couple of months ago. I know because I go to the shrine once in a while and I love listening to live music. And suddenly he's on tour again. So what I'm hearing
But I
is
think
that
he's back again.
what I'm hearing is that they actually went to play a couple of shows and everything. And through it all, his song was at the court yesterday.
Yeah.
The sister, they're all supporting their brother. So I want to give it up for them. Like, family sticks together,
Yeah.
Shout out to them. But regardless of all of this, at this point in time, Seun needs a very strong lawyer. Like, it's not about Femi Falana being it's about Femi Falana actually doing the case. Mr. Uncle Daddy Femi Falana, please, sir. Me, I like Seun. I know that he has heard. Look,
I hope that
what he did,
gets
what he
options
did,
of fine.
what he did, Dolupo. Let's be honest now. Let's break it. What he did is wrong,
Oh yeah.
and it's captured on video.
The
Then you
worst.
went ahead to
The
make a
worst.
video to say it's not the first time you're slapping police.
Worst.
But what happened now? Why?
This is the kind of time, like, can somebody get his phone away from him?
Yeah, get the phone off him. Don't let him tweet or make no stupid videos.
Yeah.
So it's a tough one, but
that
but there
alone
might
too
there might still be some
but you also
way
know
around
that
it.
now the also a problem where that might also come in is the issue of where there's now conversation about how if he is a prominent figure, is that why he will be let go
No,
easily?
no. That's not what I'm
Do you
saying.
understand?
No. I'm just saying that
I think that
the
at this
law,
point,
the law,
at this point,
the
the
law-
judiciary is also on trial because a lot of people are going to be waiting to see, okay, what happened? What's happening? How come he is getting let off the hook easily? Which that's why it's very interesting, and I think that's why the police and the judiciary looks like they have something to prove.
On this matter, Sha, if he has a good lawyer, there's a way they can work it out, and he will still pay, what he owes society, And I hope that
some community service.
I hope that he learns from this, and I hope that he drops.
Not even just him, everybody needs to learn.
This is me being very irresponsible, but I'm going to say it. I hope that he drops one totally amazing album, because there's a way these problems can inspire creativity.
See, no. Why? Because this is you that caused it for yourself.
You can inspire creativity now. Is it impossible? It's happened before. When people have this kind of problem,
people have gone to jail for. Take for example, Seun Kuti has gone to jail for talking about the ills in the society,
and he came out with massive albums.
That's it.
You
did not talk about ills in the society. You added to the
Orlando Owo was arrested for some issues. They said he had some narcotics and whatever, and he came out and he gave us you don't understand. I'm saying that, Sha, on the music side of things, Seun, you owe us one solid album, because in only show go I like good
luck to them.
But on a serious part, please don't lay your hands on anybody.
Yeah,
police or
that's
otherwise.
that's the real
police or not.
Do not lay your hands on anybody. It's worse when it's the police. Just saying.
And police, you to stop extrajudicial.
Yeah, I think it's
because at times you people are the one that caused the provocation.
But
not all of you. You have some good policemen.
Even I actually did a bit of digging. Even if the police is trying to attack you, or they try to, the best you can do is get some evidence and go and report.
Okay, don't respond.
Please do not. It's even scarier because people have died for doing less.
Don't respond.
Let's be careful.
Even in the saner crimes.
Yeah. People have died. This is not even a Nigerian thing. People have died.
Safety first.
For trying to pick out their phones from their pockets.
Safety first.
Please.
Diallo.
Oh,
it's a true story. That Wyclef Jean, aka Wyclef Jean. If you think I don't know, I'll show you. He did that song about him and all of that, and it was just, if you listen to the intro, I'm gonna bring back my ID and show them I am good people. Sorry, it's gone, and that was ID card. Not to talk to someone now, Let's be careful. Please, let's rein it in, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. And on that note, we're moving on to the man of the hour.
Yes.
Whether we like it or not.
Yeah, that's Ashake and Olamide.
It's not Ashake.
They have a new song called Amapiano.
It's on Friday. We will move it to New Music Friday.
That's man of the hour.
No, that's not the man of the hour. The man of the hour is the person that is on Times Square at the moment.
Oh. Alaye.
He's Alaye Bam Bam.
Mr. Uncle Daddy.
Alaye Bam Bam.
Jagaban.
He's, it's interesting when your president or the president-elect is called Jagaban. There's a different meaning to it.
It's a title.
There's a different meaning to it.
It's a title.
Let's be honest. Anyway.
Which is no way.
Jagaban of the Borgu Kingdom.
Jagaban Borgu.
His picture is all over Times Square.
It's important.
You can go to social media to see. It's right there. It's not photoshopped. Who is said to be president in a few days' time? Is getting handover notes. He and his vice president-elect is getting handover notes from the president tomorrow. And this is at the event where they're going to be conferred on the Grand Commander of the Federal Republic and Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger.
The thing
I honestly never knew.
It's actually trending. It's actually trending at number 1 now. Jagaban in Times Square.
I honestly never even knew that there was an event around it. Did a bit of digging, and I saw that former presidents always did it for, or outgoing presidents always did it for presidents, incoming presidents. Now, in the case of President Buhari never got it from the former president Goodluck Jonathan. Only conferred GCON on the vice president elect because President Buhari, as at the time he was coming in, was already GCFR.
Yeah.
At some point earlier, of course, we know that he was military president, so he already had GCFR. So there was no.
What's GCFR for people who don't know?
I already said it earlier. Grand Commander of the Federal Republic.
You heard?
You know, the Alaye Bam Bam of all of you all. Anyway,
which is no way.
Or the Elenio of you all. Anyway, so talking about that, also I know that for the case of President Goodluck Jonathan, former President Goodluck Jonathan, we know that President Yaradua died.
Yeah.
So he too never got it conferred on him, but I think at some point they did it, but of course,
even if it's posthumously or whatever, at least
there was so really one actually needs to go and check these things. I really actually never thought there was an event around there. I thought you just, when you become president, you just, it just becomes part of your titles and all that. But so now what we're saying is that by tomorrow we know that there was an extraordinary there was an extraordinary
valedictory today.
Federal Executive Council meeting yesterday. Now there was a valedictory one today where it's official. There is no more FEC under President Muhammad Buhari. The vice president and all 44 ministers were all I think this is the first time since COVID where all of them are all going to be in the same place. Of course, we know that it is official that the cabinet is kind of is dissolved at the moment. So yes, there are a few things that came out of that Federal Executive Council meeting. I saw a story where the minister, or do we say the former minister? It's still the minister, I mean. The minister of housing, the minister of works and housing, Babatunde Fashola, had talked about a few the commissioning of a lot of things. That was yesterday. And the Lagos Ibadan, which we had talked about how it looks like is going to be moved. The new date for it finishing is June 30. And he gave, I don't know what's the issue with them at 30, but he had now said that is definitely that it's the Tinubu administration that is going to commission the Lagos Ibadan, and talked about how when they were digging some portion that they're doing now, that there was a part that they found some, I can't remember what exactly he called it, but so they had to do a lot of digging and all that, and they had to, so that slowed them down a lot. Yeah,
the whole essence, as much as it's painful at the moment, is the lifespan of the road that is being constructed. It's supposed to last a couple of years, so yeah, we'll stick with it. We know that they tried. They wanted President Buhari to commission this road, but it's not happening.
It's definitely not happening. Just want to put it out there for, I know we talked about it yesterday. So yes, that basically is what we're going to be talking about. Also, quickly, talking about the Inspector General, the court has ordered that the Inspector General should stop parading himself as the IG. Why? Because it said that his tenure had ended, and his tenure extension by the president is illegal. And the court had even ordered President Buhari to have a meeting with the police commission to appoint another IG. I don't see how that's happening.
At this point,
I don't think President Buhari is interested.
Within the confines of the law, it might be totally impossible for President Buhari to do anything about this. Again,
President Buhari's body language, any tenure
elongation, that doesn't fall within the laws should be frowned at. It should never happen again. But there are barely 4 days to the end of this government. 4 or 5, right?
5 days. 5 days.
You get, so it shouldn't happen. 5 days. It shouldn't happen. I think that they should just let sleeping dogs lie.
Up until there's a new president.
Until Monday, when the new president will be able to make, this kind of pronouncements. That's the thing. Now, I just want to chip this in. We are realists right here at Boom Radio NJ. As individuals and as a brand, we follow the law and look at the reality. So yes, indeed, we are in a transition period. No matter how much you like it or don't like it,
it is what it is.
It is what it is, and this is the reality on ground. So if the IG's tenure elongation is illegal, as found by law, if there's going to be another pronouncement by another court, let it be now. Let it cover him for the next 4, 5, 6, 7 days. But
I don't think anything's going to happen at
just like I wasn't.
It's very possible. That
I wasn't thrilled when I saw that President Buhari appointed a new accountant general a few days ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, why are you doing that? Like, you should just let the new people do
because
it.
Because the old one is retiring, I think, May 28th.
Okay.
So why don't just let the new president? That should be the headache of the new president.
Exactly.
Because the interesting part is that new president can come in and then bounce everybody.
Their new president, I don't care if it's Bola Tinubu, because by law it is Bola Tinubu.
At this point,
but if there's a judgment tomorrow, like people are expecting on Friday, and something changes, if it's Atiku or Peter Obi, okay, you people supported him, Mary. It's Emefiele me I want to talk about. Emefiele.
Okay, don't let's say anything before.
Don't let him escape.
But
that man asks questions to answer.
I honestly
see, Emefiele, you try in some area.
In May 29th,
you see that Naira redesign that you did. You suffer, we suffered.
Anyway, let's move on from that quickly.
Move on.
Now it's been announced,
but we suffered.
God, that the Kwara State Governor Abdulrahman Abdul Razak has now emerged as the new chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum, and the Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has emerged as the new vice chairman of the Governors Forum.
Yeah, congratulations to the governor of Kwara and the governor of Oyo State. The Nigerian Governors Forum is actually a very important forum, very powerful forum.
Oh yeah, in recent times
we understand how powerful it is. They also have different fragments or different sections.
Yeah, there's
caucuses of
the
it.
south, the west, southwest. I think every region.
The regional,
the south,
and
north.
And the party governors forums. You know, like there's the APC governors forum, there's the PDP governors forum. There will be the Labour Party governors forum with only Alex Oti.
At this point,
there's the APGA.
Is possible.
There's the APUGA
governors
forum with Governor Soludo.
That's it. No, there's NNPP governors forum
with the governor in Kano, the incoming governor.
Yeah, so it's interesting.
That's the funny part of it. Now, the angle that I actually wanted to point out is the Nigerian map and the Nigerian makeup is still up for discussion. There's some interesting things. Abdulrahman Abdul Razak is a
North Central governor. He's a North Central governor. Let's move on from that. He's a North Central governor. And is a southwestern governor.
Who is southwest? But now still Abdulrahman.
No, he's not.
They're not. They're not.
No.
By what now?
By Nigeria's map.
Okay, by reality.
He's my governor.
By reality.
We're governors. Excuse you.
Who is your governor again?
Governor
Abdul Razak. Oh, now you're a northerner.
Am I not?
Oh, so when I'm south, you people say
you're not. No, according to Nigeria's map.
I am not.
No.
I am not.
Niger
Delta.
Niger Delta is not south.
Wait.
Two different things.
I am not south, but I'm not Niger Delta.
Niger Delta is different from. That's not what we're talking about. The geo.
So now I am Niger Delta.
I didn't say you were not.
Oh, you guys were arguing.
No.
There's videos of you and that Aboki. That time that you had that mad Aboki guy that used to come here.
The geopolitical zones of Nigeria. Oh, yeah. You're southwest.
So I am Niger Delta, have you?
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
What does that have to do?
Don't worry.
Anyway,
which is no way.
We're talking about that and talking about a few governors. The Lagos State Governor has also had his executive council meeting, final one for this particular tenure. Today, he has also dissolved his cabinet.
They're all gone
today, and he has asked them everybody should send in their handover notes and declaration of assets before May 26th.
Speaking about Lagos State, what intrigues me about Lagos, what really excites me about Lagos is how today, the governor and the deputy governor had to be in different places commissioning projects.
Yeah.
You know, that's interesting, right? Okay, you know what? You go and do this. But again, they're politicians. Why do you guys like to live in a blaze of glory? You know, they come across like
the honest truth is,
like
you're
gangsters,
not even leaving the office.
No.
So
living.
what's the drama?
But why do most of them commission when they are leaving?
That's my point. Like they're not even leaving. So what's their drama about?
They're leaving.
They're not leaving.
It's a new governor
They're
that's
not
coming.
leaving.
Sanwo-Olu, a new Sanwo-Olu and a new Amzat.
They're not leaving, which is the interesting part when I saw that there is even there's some events around the inauguration.
But regardless, I want to say a
there...
massive shout out to the governor of Ebonyi State again, the airport.
Yeah, but why are there events around governors that are coming back? Like,
it's for the record.
I get it that there's going to be a lot of lobbying now. A lot of states, they're going to have a lot of lobbying. Oh my God.
So all the special advisors,
everybody,
senior special assistants, and all the commissioners and all the appointees, they are all without any position now.
Oh yeah, everybody's jostling. Anyway, quickly before we go, the Central Bank of Nigeria, well, actually even in a few minutes.
No.
So the Central Bank of Nigeria has now revoked 132 microfinance bank licenses. I just want to put it out there that you need to go and look for that list and see if your money is in any of these banks. So that just go and look for your money, just in case your money is in the microfinance bank.
Yeah,
go and Google that thing.
Kudos to the CBN for doing this. And again, you find out that we take a lot of things for granted.
Yeah,
and there are a lot of these microfinance banks that should not even be in operation. Some of them are actually not in operation. Do you get?
Yeah.
I was in Oyo State on Saturday, and leaving the train station, there's a particular building I saw in the center of that place is called Moniya, Abi. Is it Moniya, right? The train station here is Moniya.
Yeah. Yes.
So there was one popular microfinance bank that the building was bare and empty, and I'm like, isn't this supposed to be
a wonderful microfinance?
Yeah.
bank.
So thank you for looking out for people.
So people.
But again, me, I'm Oliver Twist. I'm like, you didn't have to wait until you could sanction 130 or cancel 130. Do it. Like there should be monitoring going on. People's monies are caught up in some of these places.
Okay. Quickly also. Now let's move on to a little bit of sports quickly. There's updates on Vinicius issues with the game that happened on Sunday. Now, it is safe to say that the Spanish Football League has now rescinded the red card that he had. According to the statement, they're saying that the referee, if he took into cognizance all the things that had happened at the match, you will know that it not like saying that it was okay for what he did, but we would how do I say it now? It was kind of like he was aggravated to the point where he was. So now they rescinded that red card. Sorry, before we go on, Bukola Medubi says we'll send our liability. Sorry, our asset. Okay, okay now. You did not let us know that you are also part of the
which bank? Which bank?
Anyway,
please. First Central Bank.
Anyway, so still talking about the issues now. Also the Spanish Football League has also given Valencia a 5-game partial stadium closure, and I think a 45,000 euro fine. Even though Valencia has said that they are going to
they're going to appeal. They feel
they didn't even inform them, or they didn't even give them an opportunity to defend themselves or even see the information that was used
over and over again. I'm going to repeat it. Racism in sports or racism anywhere can be tackled if everybody agrees to tackle it. The La Liga is taking a stance now, or they are pretending to take a stance. I also kudos to them for changing from the old ways to this one. And
I think Valencia, this is really because there's a lot of noise about it.
Yeah, Valencia as a club should just shut up.
Yeah, I think they're being really
you are encouraging racist
you encourage your because people get fined for this. When
it's not a crime to be
happens,
it's not a crime to be black.
when violence happens, it is the club. You literally do not let people that came to your stadium feel safe.
So
I'm sorry.
Vinicius Junior, a lot of people are with you. As Shola Rogers, I'm with you too.
I think this is very, very interesting. Now, talking about it quickly, Gareth Southgate has now named his England squad for the Euro 2024 qualifiers against Malta and North Macedonia. We've seen a lot of his usual suspects.
And I guess that's why Harry Maguire started trending again. I don't know.
Anyway, lastly, before we go,
why is it lastly? We have plenty of time now.
This issue of gangs of Lagos does not seem to want to go away anytime soon.
It shouldn't.
As Isaleko indigenes have now said that they are going to sue the gangs of Lagos producers for 10 billion naira for wrongful depiction of their culture, of their environment.
I do not support the producers of Gangs of Lagos and whatever it is that they did in that movie. I think they did us a disservice. But I also feel that the court case will not hold water. I feel that they might not have a case. I'm not a lawyer, but if you look at it, it's someone's creative, project. Mm-hmm. And what I would encourage the people of Isaleko to do your own movie.
Maybe you should.
Create your own documentaries. Tell your own stories. Call us, call Boom Radio. Let us come and sit down with you. Yeah, I'm on shit. We will project you in the positive light. Some people are sold on the negativity, and this is what they want to push out. Gangs of Lagos, for me, was a creative work, but I felt that they dwelled too much on the negative. And I also felt that Gangs of Lagos and all the other movies that have come out around that period have all been about copying each other.
Yeah.
The Brothers, Brothers is one of them.
Brotherhood.
And then the other one, that Shola Shobali was in.
King of Boys.
All of them, but they're copying one person. At least we know the one that came first. So you guys
I think we need to be a little
bit more
creative. Yes.
Stop stealing from people and passing it up as original. You're not original.
I think we need to be a bit more creative.
That's the problem with this Gangs of Lagos thing. Now they tried with the cinematics, is that what it's called? The video, the quality of the
those
they tried.
I think
but
story,
you see, the core of the story. Then again, when are you people going to learn patriotism also? We're not saying you shouldn't tell it as it is, but once in a while, can you sell us positively too? This is the problem. This is the problem. And when it starts to bounce back on you, you'll be complaining, oh, they didn't give you a visa or they restricted you. You caused it because you don't see anything good in your country. And that's where you are. For me, I love Isaleko. I'm not a Lagos Island person, but I more or less grew up in and around that environment. And I love Isaleko as a Surulere boy. I love Isaleko a lot. And will continue to project the entire Nigeria positively. As a person and as a brand.
Okay, and on that note, that is all we'll be able to take today on the Boombar. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very, very much for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time to give you another wonderful edition of the bar. Of course, there'll be a lot of updates, a lot of news stories, and lots of plenty gist to give you. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. And peace.